Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock with you as we talk Fort Hays State football. The program brought to you as always by Mocha's Coffee and Bakery at 27th and Indian Trail in Hays, and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers on North Vine. The taste that brings you back. Fort Hays State 2017 MIAA football champions. They won a thriller on Saturday in Maryville, Missouri, knocking off the two-time defending national champions and four-time defending MIAA champion Northwest Missouri State Bearcats 13-12. We'll talk all about that. We'll preview Senior Day on Saturday as the Tigers close out the regular season at home against Nebraska Kearney. Head coach Chris Brown will join us right after the break. We need to step aside. We'll do that right here and talk some Tiger football with the victorious head coach right after this on Tiger Talk. Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, head coach Chris Brown. Some of the action from Saturday's thriller in Maryville. The program brought to you once again by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, where you can experience the delicious cook-to-order food, rich and creamy frozen custard churned fresh throughout the day at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, North Vine and Hays. It's the taste that brings you back. The Tigers knock off Northwest Missouri State 13-12 on Saturday. Joined now by head coach Chris Brown. Congratulations, MIAA champions. That's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah, it does. You know, I'm just really proud of our kids and, you know, our coaching staff. And, you know, it's taken a lot of work to get to this point. And, you know, it's taken some time. And, you know, it goes to previous teams that we've had before this. It's just bonding to what we were doing when I first got here and believing in what we were doing and trusting the process and all the hard work and dedication. And I mean, it takes a lot of commitment to get to this level, and just the work they put in. You know, these last, you know, some guys 5 years, some guys I aim 6, you know, and others just, you know, 2 or 3. But it's the summer stuff and everything that goes into this. Our coaching staff, the families, you know, because they get there's a lot of time, you know, away from the dads and the husbands and all that stuff. But it's, you know, it's a lot of work, but, you know, it's fun, and we really enjoyed it. And I got to thank all those people first.
Yeah, and we kind of mentioned in the broadcast, kind of 7 years in the making, and it really has been. And that first year you got here, obviously it was December. You got a late start in recruiting, but some of those guys, they laid the foundation. And this group here has been special, obviously, in reaping the rewards. But it does go back to that first year. I mean, you could see a transformation, and it is a process. It takes a while. But some of those first recruits you had, very much a part of it. I know some of them, I mean, they've been following this thing throughout and are extremely thrilled, and they're kind of we're at the ground level of all this.
Yeah, it was. And it was neat to see, you know, early after the game, you know, a lot of those guys coming back. Jesse Trent was there, and Alex Whitehill was there, Josh Reese, Grant Brown, Leighton Hickle, you know, and there's many others, you know, that we saw in that. Bilal Salah, you know, and Mason Dickey, but, you know, they were all there to enjoy that win with us. And, you know, I was telling each one of them, I said that you're just as big a part of this conference championship as anybody else. You know, you guys really kind of set the foundation and made this where we're at today. And, you know, kids just built on top of it, and, you know, they laid the rock, and, you know, we've just kept been rolling from there, and we've gotten better each year. But, you know, it's taken a lot of work, and, you know, hopefully it's still just the beginning of where we're really trying to get to.
You mentioned after the game too, and today, the families, and that's something I think folks who aren't involved in it don't understand how much time and commitment. And you know, I mean, basically football starts, you work 7 days a week till the season over, and then recruiting season starts, and it does take a special family life to do this, and then to be successful at it as well. And I know they're very much a part of it, and you did a nice job of thanking them after the game on Saturday.
Yeah, it is. You know, those wives, I mean, you got to be, you got to love football, and because, you know, your husband's gone quite a bit, and then a lot of us are dads as well, and, you know, that's getting kids to daycare, getting kids to school, meals, you know, all these different things that, you know, dads should be helping out with. But it's hard when you're working 7 days a week, and then we get right into recruiting after that, and that's 7 days a week, and that lasts all the way through February. So, you know, starting from August to February, you know, those moms are by themselves quite a bit, and we can't thank them enough for all they do, and we really appreciate them very much.
Another guy I thought of, we saw him after the game when we were leaving the stadium, Coach McCray. I mean, he's been here from day one when the Tigers went into the MIAA, and to truly know where the program was to where it is now, to be there every step of the way had to be special for him as well.
Yeah, it is, and it's awesome for him, because he's been through some ups and downs, and he's seen the program grow and build, and he's a big part of it, of the reason why we're here as well. And he's the one guy kept on, and he believed in what I was doing and trusted in the process. And I told him, I said, it's going to take some time. We're going to have our ups and downs, but we'll figure this out and we'll get it right. And I think we're figuring it out, and hopefully we keep it right as we have it right now, and we can continue to win more ball games and continue to win conference championships as well.
How special was it to win in Maryville? We mentioned that they're the two-time defending national champions, four straight conference championships, and 3 of those 4 they won outright. To beat them on their field, and for that to be an outright championship for you had to be extra special.
It was, you always want to do those things at home too, but going to their place, and they are defending national champions, and they won so many conference championships, and it's huge for our kids and huge for our program, and then it just to go to their place in front of their crowd, on senior day, and to play the way our kids played, and to win that ball game, it's truly special.
Well, a big win for the Tigers, 13-12. We'll talk about it. It was a knockdown, drag-out. It certainly lived up to all the hype going into it. We'll talk more about it when we return. Tiger Talk brought to you by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro, and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. And we have more right after this.
That was another legend on 99 KZ Country. And yes, before that, we had a brand new artist. Your home for today's stars and the legends. We play real country. I'm Teresa Trapp. Weather, news, sports, it's all here. We're on Facebook, and there is a listen live link at hayespost.com. Dial us in on your radio at 99.5 FM. KHAZ, real country. 99 KZ Country.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, head coach Chris Brown. The program brought to you by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, and of course Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro, where you can start your day off right with a piping hot cup of coffee. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, they've got something for every meal. Take advantage of the convenient drive-thru on your way to work. They're at 27th and Indian Trail. Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro. Tigers beat Northwest Missouri State 13-12 on Saturday to win the MIAA championship, the first for the Tigers. And obviously a lot of storylines going into it, but most notably the top 2 defenses in the MIAA, 2 of the top defenses in the country. And boy, they did not disappoint. I mean, it felt like a heavyweight prize fight, just blow for blow. Those defenses were on their A game on Saturday.
Yeah, they both were. It was a battle back and forth, and those defenses just kept 3 and outs. Maybe get a first down, have to punt, and both teams were out there a lot defensively, but it was blow for blow, and a couple big plays, for us, and then a big play for them, towards the end, and some field goals as well mixed in there. You got to the red zone, but it was a defensive battle, and I'm just glad that we came out on top, and I'm so glad that our defense played so well and played physical and aggressive, and got some turnovers as well. And that's something we didn't do, was turn the ball over, but we got 3 of them, and that's a big key to winning that ball game.
First 6 possessions, 3 by each team, resulted in punts, and as you mentioned, all but one of those I think were a 3 and out. And then they finally get a little bit of traction. They get into field goal range, and they burn the red shirt off a kicker. They bring in a true freshman, gave them the go-ahead field goal. But then I thought, very important, you came right back. Didn't get a touchdown, but you answered and got a field goal of your own. That was a big one, a 48-yarder for Brandon, who's had a good season. He kind of, I'm going to say struggle, but had a few ups and downs. He was solid, and you just had a feeling the kicking game was going to be big in this one.
Yeah, it was, and that's a big part of it. When you get to the red zone or close in field goal range, you got to be able to get those points on the board, and that's kind of one of those places where we talked about before the game, can you get this or not? It's probably a little bit longer than what he was practicing on, but he still had plenty of leg on it, and made that field goal for us to tie it up. But that's a huge part of the game. We missed that. Who knows what happens?
Everybody punted the rest of the first half, and it just kind of goes to show you the type of defenses that each team was up against. I imagine a little nerve-wracking in a way. And does it change your philosophy and how you go about it offensively, knowing, I mean, points are going to be at a premium, and you don't want to make a mistake and turn it over, give them the ball in good field position. Does that change your approach when you're going at a game like this, when you know the defenses are so good?
Yeah, we were watching film, knowing that they were going to be pretty good defensively. That we got to make sure we're doing things to not create a turnover, and and I thought offensively we did that. Figuring out things that we knew Jake was comfortable doing, and our line was comfortable doing as well, and not try to get too cute and do some things that we shouldn't. And I thought our game plan was good going into it, and there's a few plays in there that if we don't overthrow Bama a couple times, who knows? It's probably a couple touchdowns, there to get us the lead. But we just didn't want to risk anything and just play solid defense and try to get some points on the board and win that game.
You did do a fake punt early. I said all those possessions early. There was one you decided to go for the fake on, I think, 4th and 4, and didn't get it done at midfield. Obviously, kind of a gutsy call, but the defense really backed you up on that by getting the stop and getting you guys the ball back.
Yeah, they saved me. They did. Thank you, defensive guys, for saving me on that one. But it was something we saw in film, and we haven't ran one all year long, and I thought it was a time to. I mean, it's a big game. We're trying to win a championship, and sometimes you got to take some risks here and there. And we're one block away from that, and if we get that one block, Dante might score.
Yeah.
And but. Their kid made a heck of a play, and we didn't get it, but our defense did a good job of keeping points off the board.
Well, the Tigers and the Bearcats went into the halftime locker room deadlocked at 3. Fort Hays was going to get the ball to start the second half, and they started off with a bang. We'll talk about it when we return. Tiger Talk brought to you by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers and by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro. And we have more right after this.
As you plan for your business in 2018, advertising should be an important part of your growth strategy. Digital marketing puts your business in front of the right customers online. Advertising with the Hays Post ensures your message will be viewed 1.5 million times a month, including 375,000 unique views a week. Are you ready to grow your business? Advertise with us today. It's affordable and it works. Call us today at 785-628-0467. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Walbrock, head coach Chris Brown. More of the action from Saturday in Maryville. The program brought to you by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro, and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, where they have their delicious cook-to-order double steak burger, crispy shoestring fries. Of course, seasons in that famous Freddy's seasoning. Of course, you can finish it off with that signature turtle sundae made from their fresh, creamy frozen custard. They're on North Vine and Hays. It's the taste that brings you back at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. 3-3 at halftime Saturday in Maryville. Fort Hays State and Northwest Missouri State. Tigers get the football, and pretty good start. Kenneth Iheme breaks one for 52 yards, got you down near the red zone. That was a good way to set the tone in that second half.
Yeah, it was, and there was nothing really there up the middle, but he just stayed patient enough and made a few little cuts, got outside, made a guy miss, and got us. That was a heck of a run by him, making things happen. And then I was thinking again, here we go, we're a second half team, and hopefully we're going to roll here and put some more points on the board. But I think we got a field goal out of that drive, possibly, maybe, and then that's really about it until Harley Hazlitt.
Yeah, you had to settle for the field goal, and it just shows you. I mean, Northwest did not give up 100 yards to Kenneth. They haven't given up a 100-yard rusher now in 40 consecutive games. Still haven't allowed a rushing touchdown, but you did manage to get a field goal. Took the lead. Did that take any pressure off, or maybe just, like I say, let your guys relax, but to play with the lead in a game like that?
Yeah, it does. It takes a little pressure off, but it's still Northwest Missouri State, and you got Fort Hays State now that's doing some great things as well, and it kind of took a little pressure off. Gave our defense a little bit of breathing room as well, but. There's always that potential for a big play, and they have some playmakers on that side of the ball in offense that can make things happen, but you can't breathe too much or bad things will happen.
Well, you get the field goal, and then you get the first mistake of the game, Doyen Jaboa with an interception. He's been really good at that, and all of a sudden, the turnover's starting to come. We've talked about it. The number was down, the takeaways from really the last 2 or 3 years, but hearing about the last 3 games, starting to see that number rise a little bit, it's obviously made a big difference.
Yeah, it has. Just keeping points off the board, getting the ball back to our offense so we can score some points. And I'm very frustrated with that situation. I mean, it's a great turnover. We got great field position, and we get nothing out of it. We got to go find a way to at least get a field goal in that situation, and we didn't do it. We do that, we go and score there, puts a little bit more pressure on them, but we didn't do it.
Kind of went back and forth, each team punting. I thought a key play in the game, it's one of those kind of gets overlooked. They pin you at the 6. It was kind of a battle for field position in that second half. They pin you at the 6 and kind of felt some momentum on the Bearcats side. And you hit a 27-yard pass to Montario Birchfield on 3rd down and 10, I believe. You don't score off of that, but it got the ball out to the 30, gave you some breathing room, and kind of flipped that field position. You don't make that play, who knows how this thing turns out.
You know, and it's any game, especially in big games like this, you know, with two great teams playing, you know, field position's huge. You know, the farther you got to drive, the harder it is to score. And, you know, just getting us out of that situation and, you know, Dante being able to punt the ball and get us some better field position, you know, really helps out because it's a long way to drive. But, you know, it's kind of back and forth with that field position all day. We just kind of kept trading it back and forth, but, you know, at the end we end up winning the game.
Yeah, I think you pin them back near the 20. They get a penalty that forces them to punt the football, and then obviously the big play in the game came on the next possession. Harley Hazlitt breaks one on a slant pattern for 66, and, you know, football can be a funny game. Tyler Bacon goes down with an injury on the first possession. He's probably in, and Harley's not even in on that play. And here you go, your sophomore from Abilene who caught the game-winning catch to win a junior college national championship at Garden City.
Yep.
Catches what proves to be the game-winning touchdown catch to win a conference championship, and showed his athleticism and showed his speed after he broke away at midfield to get into the end zone.
Yeah, he's got great speed and he's got great athleticism, and he's a strong runner as well. I mean, he can break tackles and make things happen, and he's one of those kids that he's still trying to learn our offense, and we're putting him at outside receiver, inside receiver. We're putting him at wildcat. I mean, there's so many different things that we're doing with him that, you know, you hope he can keep up with it, but he's a smart enough kid that he remembers all the things. But that is a tremendous play, him getting to the sideline as well, and then diving for the pylon to score the touchdown. And I mean, that's a huge play, and, you know, that's still the win for us.
Yeah, got you up 13-3. You knew the Bearcats were going to come back, and they put together a pretty impressive drive. No huge plays, just 10, 12, 15 yards, and then the big one was a 21-yard touchdown catch, which you defended pretty well. The receiver, you got to give him a little bit of credit, making the one-handed catch to get them right back in it.
Yeah, it was. You know, there's a couple 3rd downs there that we just get the stop, or it's 4th and 1, and we got to get that stop as well. And, you know, we just didn't do it. And then the big play, I mean, Knowles is right there to make the play, but the receiver makes one heck of a catch to pull that in to bring within, you know, 3 points.
You had to punt on the next possession. Then the last 2-3 minutes of the game it felt like it took 30 or 40 minutes to play. Give them the ball back. Connor Shadid gets a big interception, a great play to keep his feet in. You have to punt the ball away again. And then there's a targeting penalty. Then the brother of the guy who got hit comes off the field and gets unsportsmanlike for going after Quill Knowles. It was a wacky final couple of minutes of that game.
Yeah, it was. You know, we got to do a better job, you know, probably as coaches in that situation as well, and figuring out time management and things like that. And, you know, we took a knee, and then we kind of figured out, well, they got 2 timeouts still. We should have known all those things, and we got to take a safety. And, you know, probably in that situation too, we probably need to work on that a little bit more of holding, you know, the block, and not letting them get, you know, such a free release to our punter to give him more time to run around, you know, in the back of the end zone to take more time off. And then, you know, it was, you know, Knowles targeting, you know, we went back and watched film, and, you know, it's up and down, but, you know, it's close enough that they probably call it, just, you know, the change of levels. And but, you know, he'll be out for a half, you know, just because of that. And, you know, I've talked to, you know, the head of the officials, Phil Laurie, about it, and, you know, come to the conclusion that, yeah, it was, you know, it's really close. There's a fine line. There's probably more angles, but at our level, you don't get that many angles. Who knows what happens? But, yeah, the kid coming off the sideline, I mean, that's huge for us, you know, and if our kids run off the sideline as well, now it's huge for them. But our kids did a good job of being disciplined and staying back, because that took him out of field goal range. And now they got to throw the Hail Mary, and Harley comes up with another big play.
Yeah, it's kind of fitting. Harley Hazlitt scored the touchdown, gets the interception, and you're just talking about a crazy game. If it's not his brother, he probably doesn't. I mean, who knows? But I mean, it was his twin brother who got hit, so that's why he probably came off the sideline. But it worked out well. They throw the Hail Mary, and I mean, you had Birchfield in there. You had a bunch of receivers. You had a lot of hands. It's like an onside kick in a way, and it was Harley Hazlitt who made the interception to seal the win.
Yeah, it is. You know, you got those tall receivers out there, and not bashing on our DBs, but they're not the tallest guys in the world. But, you know, you get Bama back there and Harley, and, you know, some taller guys that are used to going up and getting the ball and making plays. You know, it works out for us. And just in that instance, I mean, it was a tremendous play by Harley. I mean, they were 2-by-2. He sat back, just watched the ball being thrown, and he went up over everybody and got that ball. And to him, he's a smart kid, catches it, gets down right away, knows the game's over, doesn't try to do something stupid.
Yeah, I think after the Emporia Central Missouri game, there's a lot of players in this conference being a little bit smarter about trying to do something that just to get on the knee, get the game over with. But Fort Hays State gets the win. It was a thriller, huge Fort Hays State contingency, and they all left happy in Maryville in front of a crowd of over 7,000 at Bearcat Stadium as the Tigers moved to 10-0. Now they'll try to close out the regular season 11-0 as they take on Nebraska Kearney on Senior Day, and we'll talk all about it when we return right after this.
Ready to discover something new? The next time you're in your car, tune your radio to 94.3 FM.
It's here.
It's Hayes' greatest hits.
Love it.
On 1400 KAYS and 94.3 FM.
94.3 FM, KAYS. Go ahead, check us out.
And welcome back. It's our final segment here on Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, head coach Chris Brown. Fort Hays State getting set to wrap up regular season play as they take on Nebraska Kearney on Saturday. The program brought to you by Mocha's Coffee Bakery and Bistro and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burger. And I would imagine it's going to be a challenging week, just in the sense, and this team's been good about taking care of business, but you've had a string of very emotional, very big games leading up to last Saturday, trying to win that conference championship. Now the title's done. You beat Northwest Missouri State. And you take on a team that is better. Certainly Nebraska Kearney's improved a lot this year, but obviously probably a challenge to avoid a letdown, which would be very natural, human nature to maybe not quite have that edge, and you can't have that in this one on Saturday.
No, we can't. We got to talk about our future too, going to the playoffs and all the different scenarios that go along with it. But even win this game for our seniors, it's their last home game possibly, and sending them out right with a big win. And Kearney's a good football team. Coach Lynn's done a great job. He came up from Eastern New Mexico and has done a great job with those guys. And they play hard, they play physical, they play aggressive. They got some playmakers as well on both sides of the ball. And we got to look at the big picture as well. Win this game. Hopefully we get a bye week for the playoffs. And if you're ranked number 1 in the region, you're at home all the way through the playoffs as well, and that's a huge advantage for you as well. So those are the things we got to look at, and hopefully we get it done this week.
Yeah, no doubt about that, and that's the thing you start looking at with the postseason. I mean, you're the number 1 ranked team in the region right now, and if you win, you feel pretty solid when the selection committee gets together on Sunday that you'll be number 1 and you get a first round bye, which is always a good thing, and you get to play at home. So while it may not seem like as big a game, there's just as much riding on it. When you keep winning, obviously that next one becomes as big or bigger, and that's really kind of the case.
Yeah, it is, and even just having that week off, give some guys some time to heal up, recover from some injuries, and it's huge for us, and we got to find a way to win this ball game for our guys and look towards the future and keep moving forward. But this group of kids are mature, they're growing up, they work hard, they want to continue to win. I'm pretty sure they're going to be pretty focused in.
You mentioned the Lopers, and it's been kind of interesting since they've come to the MIAA. Fort Hays State's their rival, and for Fort Hays, we have Washburn, Pitt, and some of those other schools, and it's still a rival, but maybe not the level it was when both were in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. This is their Super Bowl. They are going to be excited. You're going to get their best shot. And when you look over the last several years, it's not been an easy game. They've played well. It's been a struggle against them. So I think people expect it to be just Fort Hays is a better team. They're going to walk into this one. That's not going to be the case. Kearney's better and have always played you guys well.
Yeah, they are. They're a lot better. And plus, probably the shortest trip for both of us, all year long, and having that distance. And, we're trying to get up in Nebraska and recruit, and they're trying to keep us out of there. So, we got to find a way to win this ball game. But they are a much improved ball team, and they're going to give us everything they got and try to spoil our season of trying to go through a regular season undefeated as well, and trying to keep that number 1 spot in the region. So they're going to do everything they possibly can to knock us out of that. But we just got to come locked in and focused and have a great week of practice, and do everything we can to possibly send these seniors out on a great note.
You mentioned Coach Lynn there. He was at Eastern New Mexico. You played them in the Champs Heart of Texas Bowl. They ran more of a triple option type attack attack. Are they doing similar stuff at Kearney? Has he gone more traditional?
More traditional. I mean, they're still going to give us some read option stuff as well, some speed option, some quick passing game too. But not much different. A little bit the same on their defense, but not as much as that 50 front as they have shown in the past. At Eastern New Mexico, more of a 4-man front, and some 3-man stuff here and there. But there's similar stuff, but there are quite a bit different than what they had been in the past. So I mean, it's more of a traditional style offense that we're used to facing, but you never know. He might change a little bit this week and get back to his normal little triple option stuff where we got to be able to defend it.
It seemed like their defensive front had played pretty well this season.
They have. Teams that have struggled running the ball on them, and they've done a good job with getting in third and long situations. But those kids move well. They're strong. They do a lot of twisting and slanting and things like that. But those kids, they play hard and they play aggressive, and they're out to win ball games. And you can see just kind of the change in attitude with these kids and the way they're playing right now, because they do believe and they're trusting in their new coach. And he's done a great job of making them believe, and they're playing hard.
Well, they'll play hard on Saturday, certainly try to upend the Tigers season at Lewis Field. Should be a fun game, and we haven't really touched on it too much, but it'll be the last regular season home game for your seniors, and obviously they have had a big impact on this Fort Hays State program.
Yeah, they have. They've come in, 4 or 5 years ago, and like Aheem has been here for 6 when it all started, and his first year we were 5 and 6, and they've built the program up to where it is at this point right now, and I'm so proud of them. I'm so thankful for them, and I appreciate all they do, for this program, and just their leadership has been tremendous as these years have gone on, and their work ethic is outstanding, and they do really, really well in the classroom as well. A couple of them probably already graduated. I think Aheem's already graduated, and Luke Wright's already graduated as well, and they're taking master classes too, and I'm just really proud of this group of just who they are, their character, and just their willingness to give everything they have for this team.
Well, hopefully they can leave Lewis Field Saturday evening with a victory, and Fort Hays State can close out the regular season undefeated and then look ahead to the postseason. Coach, as always, we appreciate your time. Congratulations on the big win over Northwest in Maryville. Let's go get those Lopers on Saturday.
Thanks, Gerard.
That's head coach Chris Brown of the Fort Hays State Tigers. Again, it's a 2 o'clock kick from Lewis Field for Senior Day. We'll be on the air at 1 with the Auto World pregame on Tiger Radio Mix 103. Of course, you can always catch the video replay of the program, Eagle Cable TV channel 14 and 614, 3 times on Tuesday and Wednesday. Big thanks again to Jordan for all of that, getting the show on television. Certainly hope you have enjoyed that. The program brought to you by Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, the Taco Shop, G&L Tire and Automotive, Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, BTI, and Horizon Appliance and Electronics, and of course brought to you by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery and Bistro, 27th and Indian Trail, and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers on North Vine in Hayes. For Coach Chris Brown, this is Gerard Wellbrock. So long, everyone.